back and welcome to another Vlogmas video. If you have missed any of my Vlogmas videos so far, I will leave a link up here to my playlist so that you can catch up on the Vlogmas fun that we've been having on this channel in December so far. It's marching on, isn't it? Can't believe it. As always, if you do have any Vlogmas video suggestions, please do leave them in the comments. Always willing to make videos based on suggestions, as my recent bookshelf tour will show you. Today I wanted to talk to you about the Everyday Trilogy by David Levithan. So we have Everyday. This is the film version cover. So I did make a trailer reaction video and a book versus movie video about the film, so I will leave those linked up here as well. So we have Everyday, which is the first book in the series. Then we have Another Day, which is basically the same story as Everyday, but from Rhiannon's perspective. Rhiannon is the main female character in Everyday. And then we have the most recent one, Someday, which just came out last month, I believe. It was either the end of October or the beginning of November. And this is the follow-up to the original two books. So if you have seen the movie, you could read this one without reading the other two, because the movie covers both Everyday and Another Day. So when I do the book versus movie, I'm talking about both Everyday and Another Day, because they're the same story from two points of view. So let's talk about it. So I really loved Another Day and Everyday way more than I was expecting to, and I actually did all three of these books on audio, and I thought that the audios were done really well. It was really good because the different bodies that A goes into over the course of all of these stories is done with different narrators, so they get a lot of different voice actors to play the different people. Rhiannon obviously has the same voice, and that's the same for all three of these books. I listened to all three of them on audio. I did Everyday and Another Day back to back, which I really would recommend doing if you have the time to fit it into your reading schedule, especially if you're going to do the audio, because I believe it's the same actors that they use, so you get the same story continued. Then Someday, I didn't check whether it's the same actors they use for Someday, because there's quite a big gap between Everyday and Someday. I really like the fact that it addresses how our perception of the way someone looks can change our perception of their personality, because A goes into a whole load of different body types, of different sexes, of different economic levels, of different popularity levels. It really does show you, the reader, how people react differently based on how based on the color of your skin, based on your sexual orientation, based on your perceived popularity, based on your sporting ability, based on how much money you have. Whereas Rhiannon is somebody who tries her best not to have that level of judgment, although her judgment is called into question in all three of these books. And I think that that's really good, because nobody is perfect, and Rhiannon isn't perfect, even though she is wonderful and she is a fabulous main character. This is her on here. Then we have, so A obviously wakes up in all these different bodies, and he believes that he is the only one who does this. This is called into question during Everyday very slightly, and then that aspect is explored a little further in Someday. In Someday, when they are exploring that aspect slightly further, things go into a little bit more detail than they do in Everyday and Another Day. So it becomes almost a little more sci-fi, because it goes into the logistics and the ins and outs of it a little bit more. So it did feel at some points like I was listening to more of a sci-fi novel. It is still just a young adult contemporary novel, but because it does go into what might make this happen and how we can stop it happening, how you can remain in one body, or how you can what the rules are for being in and out of different bodies, because A has rules and you know, there are rules within the community. We also get to see some message boards from people, other people who believe that they have the same issue that A has. And we also get to see some more of Rhiannon as well, because we leave Rhiannon in a very specific place at the end of Every Day and Another Day and at the end of the film. And so it's great to find out what is happening with her and where she is now and how her life is. And we know that A has a specific ending, again, no spoilers, and so we get to revisit A and see what's going on with him, and we get to revisit some of the other characters from Every Day and Another Day, which was really wonderful. I'm really glad that there is a third book in this series. I didn't love the third book as much as I loved the first two books. I think the first two books just were way more than I was expecting, and I suppose I went into Someday with more of an expectation than I went into Every Day and Another Day with, just because I didn't really have any expectation for them. I'd had them both on my shelves for a little while and decided to download the audio so I could kind of get them read, because a lot of people talk about them. But yeah, I would say that Someday was a book that definitely needed to be written. I don't know if there's going to be another book in the series, because it does leave it slightly open-ended. There may be another book. If anybody's heard the answer to that one, do let me know in the comments. But yeah, I think it's a really worthwhile series. I think if you are going to if you have watched the film, as I say, you could definitely then jump into reading Someday. I preferred listening to the audiobooks over the film, so if you can do the audiobooks, do them back to back, make time for them, and I would say that you will still feel fulfilled even if you haven't read Someday. Someday gives you a few more answers, but it's not necessary to read it, but I did enjoy it, but not as much as the first two. I mean, that's generally the case. It's almost like it's not book 3 in a series, but it's book 2. It's that second book type thing, because book 1 and 2 are basically the same story, but from alternating points of view. So there you have it, my thoughts on the Everyday series by David Levithan. As I say, do go away and watch my book versus movie opinion on Every Day. I have left a link to it for you, and yeah, let me know if there's anything else you want to see during this Vlogmas period, and I will be back with another video for you tomorrow, so make sure you're subscribed and that lands in your subscription feed, and then I will see you with that video. Bye.